Let's run away together on love. Lead me into your world.
What is up, Camaradas? It's your boy Joy, back at it again with another video. And today's video, it's a chill video, no gameplay, absolutely nothing. You guys probably saw from the title, it is the season awards. So I did get this idea from a fellow YouTuber. I forgot his name, give me 1 second. By the name of Tideser, I think that's his name. I was scrolling through my YouTube feed and here came out season awards. I didn't watch the video. I got the idea. Basically at the end of the season I want to do some season awards. Oh my god, I can't speak. But yeah, today no gameplay. It's gonna be a short video. Hopefully I keep it short. I always tend to talk too much, but if you guys do go on and enjoy this video, and if you guys did enjoy the first season of the Southampton career mode, make sure to click that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell, get notified anytime we do post. But anyways, let's go ahead and get straight to the episode. So basically, not only is this the season awards, but it's kind of a review throughout the season. So let's start off with the league position. So I don't know if you guys remember, at the beginning of the season, we started off lowest. I think we were in 20th place, but we did have an amazing second half of the season and completely turned around to finish 9th place. We could have had a 7th place and been in the UEFA Conference League, but we just missed out. So yeah, we did miss out at the end of the season, losing to Leicester City. We actually lost our last 3 games in the last episode, which was, we only played 3 games in the last episode and we lost all of them, which basically we bottled it. We could have easily finished in the Conference League, but we didn't. Before we get through anything else, obviously we need to go through the fan objectives. So as you guys can see, we only completed two fan objectives, as you can see on the screen. The Nathan Teller, don't tell me to bench him. And we do have the new era. What is it called? I forgot the name of the objective. It is called, give me 1 second. Okay, yes, the objective is out with the old, in with the new, which is score 22 goals with Adam Armstrong. He scored more than that, so he did beat Danny Ings' record. However, we did not complete Captain Passer, we did not complete Double Trouble, and we did not complete Here's Our Stone. So we need some forfeits, which I do want to do in episode 1. So please leave down some suggestions for forfeits. I think I already have a couple, but yeah, for the Here's Our Stone, we do have basically, what is it? It is to sell Sam Johnstone or get rid of him in a trade deal. So sadly, we're gonna go ahead and do that, even though we sent him this season. Double trouble. I know another, not double trouble, but there was another forfeit. It was basically to ask Siri on pick a number from 1 through how many squad players we do have and release whoever the player is. So I would do that. However, there's certain players I do not want to get rid of. So I don't know if we should do that as a forfeit. Leave down below if you guys want me to do it as a forfeit. But regardless, we need 2 more forfeits. We do have the Sam Johnston one. We're gonna go ahead and do that one next season. I think because that's pretty easy. We can just buy another goalkeeper. But leave down 2 more forfeits. Like I said before, I'm gonna let this video rest for 2 days before I start the series again. So you guys will probably see Wonder Kid reviews for the next 2 days. And then after 2 days, we'll go ahead and restart the series. But now, let's go ahead and move on to the reason you clicked this video. Basically, is the awards. So the awards this season, we have 3 awards. We have Player of the Season, we have Young Player of the Season, and we do have Goal of the Season. I was trying to make some other awards, but I couldn't figure it out. So maybe next season, if I do figure it out, we'll go ahead and add some more awards. So let's go ahead and start off with the first award. So in my opinion, we're probably the least important award to win in this club. It is Goal of the Season. So as you can see, I made a little edit for this specific player, and then obviously we do have the little what's it called, overlay of his stats and stuff. So the goal of the season was Che Adams, or Chele in our series name. So his goal, 1 goal of the season versus Chelsea towards the beginning of the season, where he scored from outside the box. I will show the clip right there down below. But yeah, Chele scored a banger, and not only that, here are his stats. So Chele did have 13 goals in 37 appearances and 21 assists. And to be honest, I think he just misses out for Player of the Season due to some other heroics from other players. But like I said, Chele, I'm so glad that I had faith in him, because at the beginning of the season, he wasn't really kicking on. But towards the end, well, actually, maybe towards October, or no, not October, I would say like November, December, that's when he started scoring goals. And obviously the whopping 21 assists he did get, so he does pick up Goal of the Season. Yeah, Chele Adams, I think he completely does deserve that. Not only that, but he also did grow from a 76 to a 79, which obviously with dynamic potential, he will probably grow more in the incoming seasons, because he performed really well. But let's go ahead and move on to the Young Player of the Season. So the Young Player of the Season, I think it can only be 1 player, and it is going to be Tino Livramento. Tino Livramento had such a standout season, such a breakout season in this career mode series. So from his stats, obviously he's a defender, so you wouldn't see too many stats. It's more what he does behind the scenes, Well, depending on the type of defender you do have, you have defenders who do tend to attack and score and assist a lot of goals. Tino wasn't that. He was just a warrior in that right back position and would cut inside in that center back position to save us many times this season. So he did have 1 goal, that beautiful chip. He did score 35 appearances and only 4 clean sheets. Nothing to be his fault, to be honest. Like, we did have a bad year defensively, at least conceding goals, because our defense was really rock solid. Like, if you guys saw some of the clips, I did leave amazing tackles, but it was a lot of mistakes by me, still learning the game. Obviously, FIFA 22 came out like 2 weeks ago, and then Sam Johnstone couldn't save everything. So yeah, Tino Livramento growing from a 61 to a 68, a +7 growth is absolutely amazing to see. But now let's go ahead and move on to the last award, which is Player of the Season. Okay, so Player of the Season was Adam Armstrong. It just had to be him, wasn't it? The whole season, the only one performing consistently throughout this whole season. So Adam Armstrong, as you can see, he grew from a 76 to an 80 rating, which is absolute class. With dynamic potential, he should grow, only being 25, as well as Chele Adams. So we do have 25 goals for him in the league season, 41 appearances, and 12 assists. Is not too bad, and obviously performing a lot of man of the match performances. So he's probably been our main man, scoring a lot of goals. Obviously, that partnership, him and Chele, is absolutely lethal. And you guys do want to see another striker, but I think at the moment, for next season, we do have to start these two. So that is basically it for the rewards. I do want to see a couple other players that did grow significantly in the season. So we do have Hudson-Odoi growing from actually a +4, so he was a 78, I do believe, getting 30 appearances, 7 goals, and 3 assists. Not a bad signing. Another player, obviously, to look at is our captain, our capitano. It is James Ward-Prowse, and I just went away from his stats. 38 appearances, 2 goals, 11 assists. Solid performance from the captain this season. Another player I wanted to look at is Ibrahima Diallo. So towards the end of the season, we started playing him a little bit more, and he was absolute class in my opinion. 21 appearances, 1 assist, 5 clean sheets, but oh my god, his performances this season was absolutely amazing. Like, he's definitely benched Romeu towards the end. We did go ahead and obviously bench him, but Diallo, amazing season, and he's for sure gonna be a key part for us next season. Another player is obviously Nathan Tella, my favorite youngster in the Premier League, the best wonder kid in the Premier League in my opinion. 36 appearances, 6 goals and 4 assists, obviously completing his objective of 10 goal contributions exactly, growing from a +5, which is I don't know how to add, guys, 66 I think he was, to a 71. Absolute class. I think he will be a huge part once again next season. I think he will do even better next season. And the last 3 players I want to highlight, we're going to start with Salisu and Jan Bednarek. So both of them, Salisu grew up +4 to an 80 rated from a 76, and Bednarek from a 76 to a 79. So at the start of the season, I'm like, okay, maybe in January I'm going to have to sign a couple center backs, which I did sign a center back, but a young one, because that wasn't the case. What I thought wasn't the case. I thought these players were not going to do well together, but Bednarek and Salisu, solid defensive line in the back. Obviously, we do have some transfer targets. You guys maybe want to see new center backs, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. If we don't sign any center backs, I think I'm fine, because these 2 players just did absolutely amazing this season. And the final player that I do want to talk about, to be honest, didn't get a lot of praise from you guys this season. I know a lot of you guys' favorite players is Fraser Forster, who, by the way, when he played those 12 appearances he made, class performances. Also, you guys love Chele, you guys love Tella. Walker Peters is a player I haven't really heard from you guys about. I think he had an absolutely amazing season. Obviously, you guys don't see too much, because you guys don't see a lot of defensive work, because you guys don't want to see that. You guys want to see the goals, the shots, me raging typically. But behind the scenes, Kyle Walker Peters, extraordinary left back in my opinion. You guys should definitely give him a try in one of your mid-table teams' career modes and give him a try in signing. But now, that's it for like the player reviews. Let's go ahead and look at the transfer targets. So before we do get to transfer targets, I want to go through a couple players I am going to sell next season. So obviously this will change depending on what you guys say, but this is my decision. And if you guys want to see anyone else transfer listed, go ahead and let me know. Fair enough, with our number 1, Sam Johnstone. I do not want to sell him, but we can't transfer list him right now. But at the start of next season, we will transfer list him, because that is one of the forfeits that we have to do. So I'm probably going to try do a trade deal. If not, go ahead and sell him and sign another goalkeeper. Leave down any suggestions for a goalkeeper. I do have one person in mind, which has slipped my mind right now, but I'll go ahead and think of that again later on. Player leaving the club, I forgot to mention, obviously you guys saw the transfer offer go through. Lianco is joining Leeds United. I know some of you guys, I think one person in specific wanted to see Lianco play for the side, but he's just not my type of player, man. I didn't enjoy him. I used him. So before I started this career mode, I played a couple kickoffs games, and I used everyone in the squad, and To be honest, I just don't see a future in him. I don't like the way he plays, so he's a little bit slow, but let's move on to the next. So Oriol Romeu is another player I do want to sell because Diallo, like I said, absolutely destroyed him in performances. I absolutely love Romeu in real life. He is very underrated in real life. I'm so glad to have him in the club, but I think it's his time to move on. I think he might go to a bigger club. I hope he goes to a bigger club in this career mode. We do sell him because he does deserve it. Obviously, this season he didn't do his best, but I know what type of player he is, and I know he's a good player. A very controversial selling of a player will be Stuart Armstrong. Obviously started off really well, but towards the end of the season just didn't do anything other than that hat-trick against Norwich. So yeah, I think we can all agree we should sell him. And another player I know a couple of you guys will be mad at is Armando Broja. So we can sign him on a permanent, but to be honest, he just didn't get his time to shine. You know, it wasn't his time, not in this career mode. I do want to send him in a future career mode though and give him a try. He didn't play too much, and I don't want to waste money on a player who didn't really perform. We'll probably send another backup striker, but that's pretty much it on everyone we're planning to sell. Obviously, Shane Long is retiring next season, so let's go ahead and look at the shortlist. Okay, so taking a look at the shortlist, you guys have seen some of the shortlist, but I did add a couple players that I would like to sign. So, obviously, with the signing of Sam Johnstone coming soon and a possible trade, I've shortlisted 4 goalkeepers who I think is pretty realistic. But if you guys have any other suggestions, let me know. So, none of these goalkeepers were in the shortlist before. Dean Henderson being the more unrealistic one. However, I think it could be pretty realistic. Like, let's say Southampton finish in 9th place in real life and Dean Henderson continues to not play games. I feel like a signing of Dean Henderson, maybe on loan or loan to buy, or maybe even a purchase for Dean Henderson to Southampton would be pretty realistic. However, I think he'll be a little bit too expensive to go for. So that's why I have 3 alternatives. So, David Raya and Robert Sanchez being in the same situation in my career mode. Brighton and Brentford have relegated, so I have shortlisted them. However, I thought David Raya would be a little bit higher rated. I think he's been hard done by. I think his rating should be higher. So maybe we can get one of these 2 players on the cheap since they are relegated. Another young goalkeeper who doesn't get game time, and obviously with the financial takeover that Newcastle do have. By the way, I want to see for next season if I can add the takeover to Newcastle. That way it's a little bit realistic. That way we can see Newcastle become a super club in this career mode. But Freddie Woodman is another player who probably wouldn't get game time. He's still pretty young, 25 years old. Like I said, these goalkeepers are pretty young, so they can grow. So those are my first suggestions for goalkeeper, but you guys let me know down below. Another player new to the shortlist, it is Tyrese Lamptey. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't really be down to sign him, but if you guys do want to see him, I will sign him because you know how much I love Tino Livramento. But like I said, it's up to you guys. It was suggested by someone, I do believe. However, I think it could be pretty realistic as well. He's been out of the side in the Brighton side in real life because I do believe it's Joe Veltman has been doing really good, or Dan Burn. I don't know who's playing at that right back position, but he's been frozen out because he came back from an injury. But Brighton obviously are in 4th place in real life, so right now he's like out of depth. He's not playing at all, so maybe we can bring him in. You guys will see a theme here with Brentford, Brighton, and Watford because they did relegate my career mode. So I think it's pretty realistic to pick off some of these better players in the team because they did relegate. And obviously, I like to think we're in the top 10 teams in the Premier League in this career mode because we finished top 10. So Rico Henry is another player. If you guys didn't like Walker Peters and you want to see someone younger, even though Walker Peters is pretty young, Rico Henry is alternative. With selling Oriol Romeu next season, we do have a couple CDMs. Obviously, better suggested by a viewer, and I know a lot of you guys want to see Skip, but I have also put Frank Onyeka. Like I said, same situation. The team has relegated. Matthias Jensen and Josh Da Silva, same as well as I'd say. Basically, the team's relegated in my career mode, so I added them because they should be on the cheap because they did relegate. So there will be a lot of these players would be willing to leave, and especially like realistically in real life, they'd be pushing out of the club because they're one of the better players in the club, and they did relegate. So maybe they'd go on a cheap, like I said. Ismail Assar was already on the short list, but now that Watford have relegated, he will be cheaper. So I mean, I'm not sure. We do have Tella and Hudson-Odoi, obviously. Tella being the more outstanding this season, in my opinion. But maybe we can bench Tella, give him some competition. You know, a lot of these players, even though, like I said, Tino Livramento, we can still sign Lamptey for competition. It's better to have competition. We would have a lot of rotations. So that's one for Ismail Assar. Moving on to Sergi Caño, same situation. If you guys want to see him, his team did relegate. Bring on some competition for Hudson-Odoi and for Nathan Tella as well. Moving on to the final position. Everyone is new in this position in the short list. So I think we need a new striker. Obviously, Armando Broja is leaving the club back to Chelsea. So again, moving with 3 relegated sides. Ivan Toney's more of a starting, maybe he'll be benched. Obviously, he's not higher rated than both of our strikers, but we can still bring him on the bench. However, I wouldn't like to because he'd get really mad that he isn't playing that much, and obviously, I'm obsessed with this duo up front. The last 2 players, are also strikers, Aaron Connolly, which I know he isn't really that good in real life. He's been struggling ever since he did have the outstanding debut season. Not even outstanding debut season, the outstanding like a couple games. and a player you guys have probably never heard about, Marcus Force, who's also in that Brentford side. So in real life, he's starting to play slowly a little bit for Brentford. Obviously, Ivan Toney is really hard to pick off, but in the FL Cup, he did score 4 goals in a game. I know it may have been against, I think it was, let me check here, it was against Oldham when they won 7-0, but still, to come up big and like rarely play games for Brentford, and scoring 4 goals is not too bad. So I think it's an interesting player, a player we have never used before. To be honest, 90% of the shortlist we have never used before, and like I said, any suggestions down below. Like I said, I would like to keep it realistic. The reason there's a lot of these players in this shortlist because I think it's pretty realistic for where we finished, and even for Southampton in real life. Like some players we listed in the past, like Strujic, he can definitely join Southampton. He doesn't play that much in Leeds. He isn't one of the better center backs, and in real life, to be honest, Bednarek hasn't been cutting it as much as I believe, and Stephens is injured, so I could see Strujic joining the club in January. Okay, but one last scroll here through the shortlist. Let me know down below who you guys do want to see. Please try to communicate, come up with one decision. If you see a comment you like, click a like on it, because like I said, we need to decide on one player for each position. We're not gonna sign all of these players. We're not even gonna sign like maybe just 2 or 3 players. Like I said, any players you want me to sell, any players you want me to sign, leave them below. Try to keep it realistic, please. We don't need unrealistic players in the club. So like I said, that is basically the end of this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to click that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell, getting notified anytime we do post. We're getting extremely close to 300 subscribers. Please help me reach there. You guys have been awesome, and the support in this series has been amazing. But anyways, that is it for basically this season review as well as season awards for this season 1 of this banging Southampton career mode. So like I said, make sure to always do the things that you love, the things that make you happy. It just be yourself, man. It's been your boy Droid. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day, and chamos.